I obviously don't know the lived experience of Brandon or Chris. I'm also a white man in America. But I have a somewhat unique perspective because I've raised a black son. And this is the Dom Smith. If you're watching the very beginning of the show, I almost started the show crying because the Dom Smith thing guts me. Because I'll try to be as quick as I can here. It's 2015 or 2016, pardon me. I'm living in Houston, Texas, and I get a handwritten death threat to my house, ostensibly because these takes have always made so many people so angry. And I call my bosses at CBS, and they say, you have to call the police. So I call the police come over, and they take it seriously. And the police are so nice, and they say, listen, we're going to take it, we're going to fingerprint it, but we're also going to send patrols by your house. And I say, thank you, and they leave. And I go inside, and I am just gripped with fear. Because at the time, it's 2016, so I have an 18-year-old, 6'2" black son who's in high school, who's always over at the house with his friends, and I say, I just signed up for the cops to come by this house. That is a tax that black families and black people have to deal with that most white families never consider. Go forward. 6 months after that, my son calls me. He's at Whataburger, 5 minutes from our house, panicked. I don't know what to do. What happened? He's there with his friends. This lady came in. She accused us of breaking into her car. We've just been sitting here. She said she's calling the cops. Should we leave? I don't know what to tell him. Do you leave and then flee and pretend, or do you stay and have a guaranteed interaction with the police? Smash cut. 3 months later, I've moved. I'm in LA. I'm commuting back and forth. My son calls me on a Saturday morning. Says, Mom's mad at me because I was so late last night. I haven't told her what happened. I think she'd be scared. What happened? He was walking through our neighborhood, home from his great friend Lucas's house. Sheriff's deputy comes by. Fits the description. Home invasion suspect. He's on the curb with 5 cars come up. 5 big, giant sheriff's SUVs. Running his name. Where do you live? Why don't you have ID? Because he's a damn kid. And I don't care the folks that try to manipulate the statistics and say, well, actually, your odds of being killed by the police are... That's not what it is. Either you have empathy and the ability to understand that for black Americans, that is the tax they have to pay every day. That their kids don't get to be full-blown kids once they're 8, 9 years old. Tamir Rice was 12, can't play with those toys no more. That you've got to tell your sons and daughters, but particularly your sons, teach them 10 and 2, yes sir, no sir, doesn't. In theory you have constitutional rights, but those only exist once you get home. In the face of an interaction with the police, you get yourself out of there as quickly as possible. You call me, you do what you can, and it's just so goddamn scary. And I'm a well-to-do white guy. And it's just so frustrating that people don't see it. And they don't care. And even when they see it, when Jacob Blake gets shot 7 times in the back, people will go online and explain why, well, maybe he had it coming, or maybe he wasn't that good of a guy. And so I appreciate the NBA trying to bring this to the forefront, but it's just too much.